And so they've asked us to ask people to leave the site and seek shelter.
Last week, I interviewed a former Trump supporter, former Trump campaign worker who has realized he has to vote for Joe Biden this time around, that so much depends on Trump not becoming president. He must vote for Joe Biden this time around. And he said to us, Nathan did, that he used to go to Trump rallies. And one of the things that was stunning is that the people who now still go to Trump rallies could not be more different than Nathan, the former Trump voter who I interviewed last week. And case in point, Donald Trump had a rally scheduled for this weekend in Wilmington, North Carolina. Now, the rally was ultimately canceled because of weather issues. It was an outdoor rally, and we'll get to that in a moment. But I'm going to hear now from some of the individuals still going to Trump rallies, and this will really let us compare and contrast the caliber of those Trump voters formerly who are capable of self-reflection and thinking to themselves, did I really do the right thing? Maybe it actually makes sense to do something different this election. And those who are so bought into the cult that I believe they are completely beyond our reach. We start with a guy at the Trump rally in North Carolina who tells the interviewer from Right Side Broadcasting that there is some reason why US dollars are worthless, but Trump did something special. And there's some way this guy is going to be able to exchange his Trump dollars for gold when Trump is president. This is not as severely mentally ill as the guy who set himself on fire outside the courtroom, right, that we talked about earlier in the show. But this is pretty severe delusions. Take a listen to this.
Ukraine. Can you imagine if we had that money to help our own people? It's ridiculous.
Those are Fed dollars. That's funny money. And Trump started, he pushed along the quantum financial system.
Right.
You don't think it's tracking all that? The good money, my Fed dollars, they're good. Trump will honor that. We'll get it in gold. The rest of it, whatever went overseas, is gone.
Right. This guy has good Fed dollars, which Trump, when he returns to the throne, the White House, will honor and exchange for gold with this guy. But any other money that went overseas, which, by the way, it's mostly equipment that goes to Ukraine. I don't know how many times these people have to be told it's mostly old equipment that's going to Ukraine and the money is staying here and going to American companies, which you'd think this guy would like. But anyway, those dollars are going to be worthless. I mean, that's a pretty sick belief. How do you even potentially believe that that's going to happen? A number of young individuals, I will say, were interviewed at the Trump rally. They were asked, what do you love the most about Trump? That's always a risky question.
With President Trump, what is it about him that you love so much? Like, why are you here today?
Well, I like to hear when he talks because he ain't scared to say nothing. I like that about him.
Yeah, you can say that again.
Right. Trump's not scared to say things. And famously, everybody else is really scared to say things. Like, I'm scared to say things on my show. Joe Biden is very scared to say things. Nikki Haley was afraid to say things when her failed candidacy was still going on. That's a classic example of those meaningless comments where you really only get to the bottom of them. Listen, Right Side Broadcasting is not going to get to the bottom of that comment. If you want to get to if you want to expose, this is the classic. This would be like, putty in the hands of a prepared interviewer. Right. Yeah. Tell me, who is afraid of saying certain things? Oh, maybe they'll name someone. And what is it that they are afraid to say that they actually believe? This will break down. This will break down instantly under even the most basic questioning. A woman was interviewed about Trump. She seems extremely disoriented. And remember, these are the folks still willing to go to the Trump rallies. Last week, we interviewed a former Trump supporter who's figured out this is not the place where you want to be. This is not the guy you want to support.
If I gave you anything, I'm just coming with my heart and my mind as far as, our country, United States of America. Some girl said yesterday to me, I don't want that stamp. It has a flag. Oh, I sat there and went, what, girl? That's your country.
Right.
She goes, well, I do love my country, but flowers are more happy right now. So that's where our country kind of stands.
Yeah, I got you. Well,
And it pisses me off.
Super clear. I mean, super, super clear. So listen, we've identified that when we hear from the former Trump supporters, they are often thoughtful. They are often able to reflect on themselves and their own actions. They're able to re-examine their beliefs. They're able to separate themselves from what the partisans around them are saying. They're not necessarily people we agree with on policy. In fact, mostly they're not. But there is a substantively different mechanism at play when you compare those who can be deprogrammed and the cultists who in almost May of 2024, after 8-9 years of this insanity, are still showing up with their completely incoherent beliefs. Now, a funny little note, eventually Trump canceled the rally. All of these people waiting all day with the fetid porta potties out in the elements. And if Trump had rented an indoor venue, then they wouldn't have had this issue. But ultimately, Trump recorded a message from his airplane, and it was a big letdown to everybody who was waiting for Trump to speak.
Trump, your favorite president of all time, hopefully. As you can see, there's some very bad weather heading in, and we're flying in a few minutes, but they really would prefer that we not come in because there's a certain danger to all of this.
Right.
And we want to make sure that everybody is safe above all.
As we know, Trump is deeply, deeply prioritizing people's safety in his entire life. That's just the type of guy he is.
And so they've asked us to ask people to...
By the way, he tried to give Chris Christie COVID, but okay. I'm sorry, Joe Biden. He gave Chris Christie COVID, probably.
Leave the site and seek shelter. And what we'll do is we'll make up for this very quickly at another time.
Yeah.
But we'll do it as quick as possible. I'm devastated that this could happen.
Yep.
But we want to keep everybody safe. It's the most important thing. And we want everybody there to be 100% safe. There seems to be some thunder and lightning, and it's a pretty big storm. So if you don't
Nothing a Sharpie couldn't fix, right?
mind, I think we're going to have to just do a rain check. I'm so sad. I'm in North Carolina right now and waiting to go in. But they're saying the weather is really getting bad, really, really getting bad. So we have to rely on the Weather Service and some of the officials.
Funny how he didn't rely on the Weather Service nor the officials when it came to not being pleased with the path of a hurricane when he was president. With that, it's just like, no, that's wrong. Here's a Sharpie. Here's a new map.
And I just want to thank you. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But we'll do it again, and we'll do it bigger and better. And you have my promise. Same location.
Yep.
And thank you all very much. Thank you, everybody. God be with you. Thank you.
There you go. So Trump canceling and, maybe rent an actual enclosed venue, pay the bill for it instead of sticking your supporters all day with the porta potties in a field. Indoor plumbing. No one ever heard of indoor plumbing before the fake news media went woke. That's for sure. Imagine standing around at a Trump rally all day, only to hear a phone message minutes before Trump is supposed to be there saying, I'm not going. The weather's no good. Truly a horrifying situation. Couldn't happen to nicer people. It is time to start thinking like voters and to make sure that kids understand the importance of voting, how it works, registering, ballot initiatives, because so many kids just have no idea. That's why I wrote the new children's book, Think Like a Voter. I can think of no better time and no more important group of folks to try to reach. The book is now available at davidpakman.com/book, where, by the way, you can get the first 2 books in the series as well. Think Like a Detective and Think Like a Scientist. Really important stuff. Donate them to local libraries, classrooms, read them with the kids. davidpakman.com/book.